Okay, in this video, part 3 of Unreal Mapbox Bridge, we are going to go over the tile stitching feature. Now, as you remember in the previous video, we have two modes. And if we initially launch it, we have um, the default mode selected is single tile, select single tile. So that's at a particular zoom level. This is one tile, another tile, another tile. It's single tile select. So we can't select, say, this area here if we wanted. Now we can certainly zoom out and get the whole area and zoom out farther if we want, but at only, we can only select a particular tile size at a particular zoom level. The further you zoom in, the smaller the tiles become. But we might want to select this area right here, and in this case, we could zoom out, but we get more than what we want. So what we can do is switch over to um, draw a rectangle to select multiple tiles. All right. In that case, you would select that. You would left click where you want to start, drag over, left click again. Oh, you couldn't see the box because let me start over. So to clear it, let's just clear that and choose that. So left click, you'll see the red line there. Left click again, move your mouse down, left click again, and now you've got it. Now, again, you need to double click it to load it, but first, before you do that, you need to have a backend process running. And this backend process is called Unreal Mapbox Bridge Backend. So let me show you how to set that up. I'm going to actually delete it from here. So this is how to set up the backend feature for stitching tiles. This is only needed if you want to use the stitching tile feature. If you want to just use a single tile select, you don't have to install this little backend program. To get this program, you need to go to my GitHub account and a repository called Unreal Mapbox Bridge Backend. I'll put the link in there. Just go to Code and choose Download Zip. And then go to your Downloads folder, and you'll see it here. You can extract it. Okay, and you only need what's in this dist folder. Okay, so you can just rename it. I'm just gonna copy the name here, go back to my dist folder, and rename it. Then I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna move it to a drive on my PC. I need to get a new C drive. I'm running out of space. All right, and then so once you have it there, then all you need to do is double click on this application. It's just a small Node.js application. You could run this project if you have Node.js installed. You could certainly just download the code and do npm install and npm start, and it would run the same program. So if you have that installed, you can easily do it that way without downloading an executable. This executable basically just packages up Node for you, so you don't have to have it installed. So I'm going to double click on it and allow it to run. It's probably going through my antivirus or something. Hang on. Huh. I don't know why there we go. I'm not sure exactly why it took so long to run. I'm guessing it went through an antivirus check probably. So this is all you're going to see, just a little black window. You can minimize that, but once that's up and running, at that point now you can go back to your um, map application, and now I can double click on it. And in a second it'll start its process. And if everything went successfully, you can see how it looks completely different than in single tile select. We got pretty much the area we want, and it's stitching this tile together and this tile together and this tile together and this tile together at the zoom level to give you a different look. Okay, and we can go in and see that. Let me just clear this out. I'm going to actually just double left click on it again to load it. And you can see, oh, I changed my download location. When I was giving you guys a demo earlier, I changed my download location. Let me change it back because I don't actually want it there. Let's do real world heightmaps. Select yes. Okay. Go back to my map. And double left click again. Yes, I do want to save changes. And let's go look in our folder. Okay, and you can see that you've got a height map now that's stitched several tiles together to give you a completely different look than what you would get with single tile select. It's not perfect. It's not going to necessarily crop exactly what you're looking at. It's going to, if this is a tile here and this is a tile here and this line crosses a tile, it's going to grab this whole tile here and this whole tile here and stitch them all together. So it's not going to necessarily crop just this square image that you're looking at, but it gives you something. You can left click and drag and move it in other areas. Again, this is the main reason why I didn't want it to automatically load this preview area, because if you want to left click and drag and if you let go, it would be loading a lot of data all the time. So you can certainly just left click drag. Oops, I guess you have to be zoomed in a little bit until you get the crosshair cursor, and then move it here. And then if this is where you want it, then you can zoom in. It still takes into account the zoom level. Okay, everything that we do in this Mapbox takes into account zoom level. And double click on it, and we get a different area. If I were to zoom out and double click on this, I'm going to get a different look. Okay, so that pretty much goes over tile stitching, and when you're done with tile stitching, you can certainly just close this down. And that should cover that. When you download the, actually, do I need, I can't, yeah, I shouldn't need the thing running if I do download the height map, I think. No, because I've already downloaded I've already stitched together the main tile image here, so you don't actually necessarily need it running when you're to download the height map. You just need it initially running. And let me verify that. Okay, let's delete that, and let's go ahead and choose. Let me get my tile stitching server running again. I'm just verifying that we don't need it running after the initial download. I don't believe we do. So let's do tile stitching. Let's select our area and do this. And then we're going to left double click to load it up. And now it's going to create the main image for us. Let's go double check. Yep, it created. This is the main thing we're going off of. Now I should be able to stop it if I want to and still use download height map or send to Unreal. Let me just verify that. And it did. So it created it off of that. So we should be to go. So you only necessarily need the tile stitching server to run when you initially double click. Right now, if I try to do it, it's going to give me a timeout. Okay, that's what happens if you don't have the server running. That should cover that. So next we're going to cover the send to Unreal. How do we, in order for this to work, we have to install a plugin within Unreal called Unreal Mapbox Bridge plugin. I'm going to go over the setup to use that. Again, you don't need to use this. It's just a convenience function. You can download the height map just like I showed you and manually imported it. But for convenience, this is nice and simple, and it allows you to do make it easy for you to bring things in. So let's go with that on the next.